South Africa is a rapidly growing and developing country. With 59 million people, there is enormous pressure to reduce the amount of packaging waste that is either sent to our country's landfills or which ends up as visible litter in the environment. As a proactive response to the growing national concern around waste and its impact on society and the environment, the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment published the Section 18 regulations to the National Environmental Management Waste Act on the 5th of November 2020. This new legislation will officially come into effect on the 5th of November 2021 and legally mandates producers to demonstrate their extended producer responsibility, or EPR, by achieving published legislated targets. This can be done by either joining an existing producer responsibility organization, or PRO, or forming a new, independent PRO or EPR scheme that will manage their products at end of life. Instead of supporting the outdated linear approach of producing, using and discarding valuable materials such as plastics, paper, glass and metals, the focus is now on developing circular economies within South Africa, where the value of waste is never lost, but is kept within the economy by ensuring that these materials are diverted from landfill to be reused and recycled into many new and useful materials. In the previous voluntary EPR landscape, South Africa had 7 individual PROs who managed the EPR schemes for the various different packaging streams, namely PETCO, POLYCO, the Polystyrene Association, Southern African Vinyls Association, the Glass Recycling Company, Fiber Circle and Metpack SA. PETCO was founded in 2004 to represent the South African PET plastic industry's joint effort to self-regulate post-consumer polyethylene terephthalate recycling. Initially using fiber as the primary end-use market for bottles collected, PETCO facilitated the closing of the loop for PET bottles and also enabled the development of end uses like strapping, pallets and geotextiles. A total of 82,469 tons of post-consumer beverage PET bottles were collected for recycling in the calendar year 2020. Under the new mandatory EPR, it is PETCO's view that for packaging, the producer should be either the brand owner of products using the packaging, the retailer in the case of house brands, or the importer of goods contained in packaging. To this end, PETCO will now be diversifying into multi-materials to ensure that its members remain compliant under new packaging sustainability laws. PETCO is already effectively involved in multi-material collections through collecting closures and labels as a necessary condition for achieving existing targets, and is therefore best placed to establish EPR schemes for these products. While PETCO is starting with labels and closures, further diversification will be evaluated carefully based on the strategic fit and the needs of current and prospective PETCO members. POLYCO has been the driving force behind 64,000 tons of polyolefin plastics that were collected and 26,000 tons that were recycled in South Africa during the last reporting period. Since its inception in 2011, POLYCO has specifically focused on polymer identification codes 2, 4, 5 and 7. However, one of the major challenges facing producers who manufacture more than one type of plastic is that the new EPR regulations require them to join more than one PRO to cover their full product range. In response to this challenge, POLYCO has recently increased their scope to represent all plastic packaging polymer types under mandatory EPR, including PET, HDPE, PVC, LDPE, PP, PS and other. POLYCO has become a one-stop shop that is capable of supporting all plastic product producers, retailers and manufacturers. To this end, the Polystyrene Association of SA and Vinyl Loop, the EPR arm of the Southern African Vinyls Association, has already merged its operations with those of POLYCO with effect from the 1st of September 2021. Both PETCO and POLYCO will focus their efforts on supporting producers and growing plastic recycling in South Africa through encouraging collaboration with multiple stakeholders along the recycling value chain. The funds they raise through EPR fees will be invested to support the collection, sorting and recycling of recyclable materials by informal waste pickers, small and medium-sized enterprises and large-scale mechanical recyclers. There will now be greater resources and combined human power to develop new end-use markets that will consume these recyclable materials, as well as to educate consumers to make them aware that used packaging materials have value and can be recycled into a whole range of new and useful products. The introduction of EPR regulations plays an important role in minimizing the amount of waste that goes to landfill or that lands up in the environment. High targets have been set for collection and recycling rates that need to be met over the next 5 years, and the only way we are going to achieve this is through promoting as much collaboration as possible across the plastics value chain. We would once again like to urge all producers who will not be forming their own independent scheme, and who have not yet signed up to an existing PRO, to please register with POLYCO or PETCO before the 5th of November 2021. Both PETCO and POLYCO have an impressive track record of successes and are well placed to help their members become fully compliant and ensure that all identified products are managed responsibly in order to make a much needed difference to the plastic litter and pollution problem in South Africa.